We are going to give you the route of the top 3 mistakes real estate investors make in buying a deal in any industry. Obviously, we're going to talk about real estate, but any industry. And I want to tell you, number 1 mistake is that I've made personally is not crunching the numbers, not seeing if there is mold in a property. Or, I went one time to, it was called actually a property in Cherry Hill. I went to a property in Cherry Hill, and my friend said, we looked into the deal, we thought, it was a good deal at first, then we saw the mold, and we saw how much work it needed. So sometimes you have to look at the work, you have to look at the mold, you have to look to see if there's ventilation, how the area is, make sure you're not gonna get beat up if you go and buy a property there. Because one time I was driving on the street in I would say it was in the dirty neighborhoods of Elizabeth, and a guy came and bashed my window, bashed the window, and I almost got killed. But thank God I had somebody involved, so I was able to make it out alive. But you have to be careful and know what is the investment. What is the investment? What am I buying? Make sure there's no mold, or make sure the investment, you know the industry, know the market, know your numbers, know the product that you're buying. Because I bought a deal in CBD, and I lost my pants. Why I lose my pants? Because I didn't know the product. I didn't know the industry. I didn't know where to sell it. Make sure you know where to sell it. Know where to buy it from. Get the best deal. Hustle. Get it done. Go figure it out. Figure what it is. You might lose $2,000 to $3,000 just from a stupid mistake, or $10,000 or $20,000, $100,000, $1 million, because you were not notorious. You didn't quote your numbers. You didn't go down. Second mistake, we're going over here. Second mistake is get an accountant, get taxpayers, have everything lined up. From my experience, not every deal that I had was lined up. Make sure it's lined up, ready to go. Found a deal. Make sure you have a person who's ready to give money, who's ready to give taxes, who's ready to be a lawyer, who's ready to be a guy crunch the numbers, somebody who can tell you, hey, this is a good deal, a bad deal. Second thing, you can find a deal and think you have investors down pat, and the investors fall through. Then you have to go back and see, am I going to buy this personally? Am I going to buy this for myself? Why am I going to buy this? What is it invested? What is it for me? Is it a personal use? Is it a business use? What is it? What am I buying this for? And what the prices, the numbers, the crunch, how crazy will it be with the town, with the zoning, with the people? You go and get everybody. Because I've done it all. I've gone zoning people. I have had to meet with different people on different properties that I've done. And sometimes I just, got so messed up because the town was so brutal. The people involved, if you meet bad people, you want to meet good people. You want to have good team. You want to have everything lined up and it's good to go. If you have a good strategy and a good structure and a good team, the product, you can buy the product, you buy the house, you can buy the property, you can buy the deal, and go and have everything lined up 1, 2, 3. Money ready, everything ready. You'll be able to get it much quicker, as opposed to you're trying to learn on the go. For new investors, you're just trying to learn as you go, as opposed to if you're somebody who's been through it, been through the system, knows how it goes with the zoning, goes with the township. If you want to redo it, you want to fix it, you want to flip it, you want to do everything, have it with the team. Figure out where you want to do it. And that's the second mistake people make as investors. Third mistake that I want to talk about today. You didn't have somebody else who came and checked the property, or the property told you this is a good price. You thought that it was a good item. It was a good deal. It was a good product. It was a good investment. It was, even if you want to talk about cryptocurrency or any industry, do your numbers, do your market, know the industry, do the stuff. If you want to go into stocks, you want to buy stock, know that market, know that field. If you want to buy flights, whatever the company is, do your research before, do your review. Somebody else who doesn't know you, who's not biased, who's not mentally invested in the situation. Because when you're emotionally, mentally invested, you can't make a decision. from a business standpoint, and I know from my own experiences that sometimes when I'm emotionally invested or financially, emotionally, mentally invested, I don't make the true proper decision that as opposed to somebody who's not biased, who somebody else is a friend, or somebody else out there is not emotionally, not financially, not mentally invested. Somebody else who comes about it can do a better job, tell you if this is a good product, a good service. Somebody, I'm going to just give one example. So one time, I was having, I rented a place in New York. Rented a place in New York. Not going to say which town because some of you guys might know which town it is. I rented a place in New York, and the landlord, I went through a middleman through the landlord, and because I did that, I got kicked out of the place. And what I learned from that situation was that sometimes you have somebody who's in the middle is not good, but sometimes somebody in the middle is good. So you want to try to get somebody who's biased. Somebody who's not biased, who doesn't know you or does know you and does care for you. Find somebody who does know you, who does care for you. And I'll just tell you one example. I had a personal experience. I was going through a deal that I was working for months on. I was working for months on a deal in New Jersey, on 2 deals actually at the time. And I was ready to go. I was ready to give my money. I was ready. Everything was going. It was lying. It was working at the time. And I called somebody who loved me, who cared for me, who was not biased, because wasn't no money in this situation, didn't have time, who gave me 5 minutes of time, told me, hey, knows real estate or knows the industry. Find somebody who knows you personally, who loves you, who cares for you, who knows the industry. Not somebody else who doesn't love you, who doesn't care for you. Somebody who's not biased, who loves you, who cares for you, who knows the industry. They have to know the industry that you're buying or that you're in it. They have to love you, and they have to care for you. They need those 3 things. And I want to say that if you call them and you got an answer from them, you have to trust them. And you have to listen to somebody else sometimes. Sometimes it's very hard, guys, to listen. I'm just going to tell you from my own personal experience, guys, that sometimes I did not want to listen to that person who loved me, who cared for me, who knew the industry, who told me, hey, listen, Mr.Best, don't go into that thing. And sometimes those deals usually don't turn out well for me. So when you seek out advice, and that's my third for today. Subscribe, like, and comment. We're out, Mr.Best. Thank you, guys. Peace and love. Y'all already know we're grinding. We're finding deals, cheels. I know we're making the meals, the millions, the billions, the trillions. Y'all already know we're grinding. We're going down. We're chilling like a villain, killing the game, the Hall of Fame. Y'all already know we're going down. Y'all already know we're going down. With the chilling like a villain, killing the game, the Hall of Fame. We out. Subscribe to Mr. Talented. You already know we're talented. Rip the pants because we don't care about any ants. I know that's why we're going with the Lance, and that's why we're going to drive the Lamborghini McLaren. I know I'm manifesting it because I want my Lamborghini. I mean my Audi 8 or my McLaren.